So I'm looking at, because I'm in keto, you consume salt, but there's always been this debate about salt being bad for you. So I'm looking it up because we use salt a lot. I guess I'm talking on behalf of myself here. I'm assuming people that do keto are consuming salt as well, but I use salt quite a bit. I mean, I use it for replenishing electrolytes, stuff like that. Pink Himalayan salt has a lot of benefits, and I've been coming across salt. I just wanted to kind of verify. This is from Business Insider. It's not a scientific source, um, but uh, a lot of times you'll find these sources with links that actually and are sourced for you. So I like to use them. Um, and then I'll just click on it to find out where the source is. But so the question is salt bad for you? I personally don't think so. And a lot of the evidence is pointing to the fact that it's only bad for you if you have high blood pressure. So, and if you are in a healthy state, you don't really have to concern yourself with the consumption of salt. Um, and actually, before coming here, there was I was reading up on it, and it was saying how actually it really comes down to the balance between salt and potassium. So too little potassium does exactly what too much salt is supposedly supposed to do, which salt is shown to increase your blood pressure, but that doesn't affect somebody that currently has good cardiovascular health. Um, so that's not really a concern there. But too low potassium, which is also used in keto, is also will also increase your blood pressure. So that becomes an issue there as well. So that's what it seems to be coming down to. Again, I'm not too afraid of salt. I just wanted to answer that question. Um, is salt bad for you? As a lot of people go with the negative first. I like to take a look at both sides. So I'm going to use this article here to point out a few things. You can go into the more scientific sources. But again, this site kind of shows you, you can just click on it and you're good to go. It'll send you to their to where they're getting their stuff. So this is so anyways, it's going there. I don't want to go there, but you can see that it goes to the source, so you can find out more scientific research on where they're getting their data. Okay, so let's take a look here. So American Health Association, the average adult consumes more salt than the recommended intake. Okay. Okay, so that tells me that high salt intake is very common. Um, this is an interesting one here. Salt makes people less thirsty. I know that because your body actually can't uptake water. And I tell people this all the time. When you're drinking too much water, and bodybuilders do this, they actually are dehydrating themselves. They're trying to get rid of water when you're drinking too much water. So up to a point where you're having too much water, your body can't actually absorb any more water unless it has salt. So this is backs that up, and you can click on that source. Let's click there and show you where it goes. Okay, so Journal of Clinical Investigation. So these are great sources to go to, these scientific resources, because they don't really have a motive to skew the results. So they just want to find out what happens if or not, right? So those are great sources. Okay, so salt makes mice burn more calories faster. Okay, so let's see something else interesting here. 30 to 64 who started normal blood pressure. After 16 years, they found that people who ate the recommended amount of sodium less than had high blood pressure on average. These people who had saltier diets. Oh, after 16 years, they found that people who ate the recommended amount of sodium less than 2,500 milligrams per day had higher blood pressure than those who had saltier diets. That's interesting, hey? Okay. So here, sodium isn't necessarily harmful for people who have healthy blood pressure to start off with. Okay, there we go. A study in 2011. It's always nice to have recent studies. This is not too long ago. Okay. So people that didn't have cardiovascular problems found that higher salt consumption didn't raise one component of blood pressure, but didn't increase risk of hypertension, which is huge. Hypertension is, a major issue with a lot of people. Okay, and didn't increase risk of cardiovascular problems. People who seemed to consume the least salt based on measurement of sodium excretion had increased cardiovascular death rates. Okay, so obviously it's not recommended for people that are suffering with high blood pressure because it will increase your blood pressure. So it's the same thing with the whole concept of keto. Having ketones in your body is not dangerous unless you have diabetes, for example. So it's usually preconditions that make it dangerous, and that goes for like a lot of things when it comes to diets and nutrition. So I'm just using ketones as an example. There's that fear. This is the same kind of fear as they have with salt, but it's unless you already have a predetermined condition. And it's the same thing with protein. Is it bad for your kidneys? Unless you have a precondition, right? So, so let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, anyways, so that's that. Anyways, yeah, this is the bottom of it. So to wrap it up, again, it's the balance between, it doesn't say that here, but I know, being that in keto we use a lot of salt. We also use a lot of potassium. Again, why do we use salt in when we're doing a ketogenic diet? You're excreting a lot of water, so you're letting go of a lot of water, and you're actually being dehydrated, because when you have no carbohydrates that actually holds water, you're releasing that water and you're dehydrating yourself. So what do you do to hydrate yourself? You drink some water with salt in it, and it rehydrates you. And that's what you do. So, and again, if you're concerned that you're having too much salt, you can always take potassium, and I have potassium as well. So, yeah, so is salt intake bad for you? Unless you have a precondition of high blood pressure? No. And again, too low potassium will increase your blood pressure too. So that's pretty much it. Salt is not the enemy. All right. Okay. Neither is fat. All right. So there you go. I hope that helps you guys.